The clothes that you discard, the ones that might end up in a landfill, can help keep thousands of young girls from dropping out of schools. The clothes that don't fit you anymore can make all the difference to the health and hygiene of lakhs of women. They say the planet has enough clothes to dress the whole world for the next 100 years, but the people who need clothes the most don't have access to them. Our old clothes hold the solution to a very challenging public health issue, that of menstrual hygiene. The lack of access to affordable, hygienic menstrual products has caused girls to drop out of school, severely limited women's participation in public life, not to mention caused serious health problems. What is an old t-shirt or kurta for us can make all the difference to a woman with no access to a sanitary pad. These women of the Maria tribe in Gadchiroli are making cloth sanitary napkins, something they had no access to until recently. The older women of the tribe never wore sanitary napkins or pads during menstruation, or kurma as it is referred to in the local language. But today, these older Maria women are distributing kits of cloth pads to other women and girls of the tribe. This is thanks to Sachin Asha Subhash, the founder of Samaj Bandh, an NGO that works with middle class, lower middle class and Adivasi or tribal women on menstrual health and education. Sachin's own mother was married off at the age of 13 years and started menstruating 2 years after marriage. She had no knowledge of her own body, let alone menstrual health. She had her first child when she was just 16 and had to go through a hysterectomy at a comparatively young age. As a student, Sachin himself would participate in clothes donation drives for tribal women when he realized there was a bigger issue at hand.
औरतों को मेंस्ट्रुअल हेल्थ के बारे में अवेयरनेस नहीं है. जो कुछ मार्केट में मिलता है जो मेंस्ट्रुअल एब्सॉर्बेंट प्रोडक्ट्स, तो वो लाने के लिए उनके पास इतने पैसे नहीं है, वो अफोर्डेबल नहीं है. और तीसरी बात, अगर कोई मिडिल क्लास वुमेन वो ला भी सकती है तो फिर भी जो सोशल टैबू है इस विषय को लेकर, तो वो खुद मेडिकल से जाने के लिए, मेडिकल से लेकर आने के लिए हिचकिचाती है और घर के मर्द को नहीं बता पाती, या फिर अगर बताया तो भी वो लाने के लिए हिचकिचाता है. तो जो प्रोडक्ट्स अवेलेबल है वो एक्सेसिबल भी नहीं है. तो इन तीनों चीज़ों पर क्या किया जा सकता है और हमारे पास क्या है, ये सोचकर हमने इन कपड़ों का सैनिटरी पैड एक डिज़ाइन किया.
Old and discarded clothes can be sent to Samaj Bandh all through the year, and the NGO itself conducts its collection drives on 2 days of the year, August 15th and January 26th. It is these old clothes that are eventually turned into Asha pads.
चूँकि ये प्रोडक्ट जो बनने वाला है वो हेल्थ के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है और उसमें हाइजीन सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो आप कपड़े धोकर दीजिए. जो कपड़े इस्तेमाल करने के लायक है लेकिन आप इस्तेमाल नहीं करते, वैसे कपड़े हमें दे दीजिए. तो हम सभी कपड़े खुद चेक करके लेते हैं कि वो धोए हुए हैं ना, या रीयूज रीपर्पज करने के हालत में है ना.
Once collected in Samaj Bandh's Pune office, the clothes are sorted by fabric into hosiery, denims, cotton and synthetic clothes. While cotton and hosiery help keep the pad soft and absorbent, denim comes on as the last layer to help keep the Asha pad leak-proof. The synthetic cloth is used to make bags for the kit, with each kit containing 6 menstrual pads. These pads are then washed, dried and put through ultraviolet rays for proper sanitization before being sent to women like the Maria tribal women in Gadchiroli.
क्योंकि सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट देने से ये जो दुविधा है वो दूर नहीं होगी, उनको वो प्रोडक्ट इस्तेमाल कैसे करना है, क्यों करना है, ये सब के बारे में वो बिहेवियरल चेंज उनमें लाना होगा। तो फिर हम जो औरतें ये प्रोडक्ट इस्तेमाल करके देखना चाहती है, इस्तेमाल करना चाहती है, उन्हें ये क्लोथ पैड का किट दिया जाता है 6 पैड का, और वो फ्री में दे देते हैं ताकि वो इस्तेमाल करके देखें। और फिर वो औरतें इस्तेमाल करने के बाद 1-1.5 महीने के बाद हम उनसे फॉलोअप लेते हैं कि आपको कैसे लगा। तो 90% वुमेन को ये प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि वो कपड़ा ही इस्तेमाल करती रहती है, या फिर जो कुछ प्रोडक्ट इस्तेमाल करती थी उससे वो सेटिस्फाइड नहीं थी, उससे कुछ तो इन्फेक्शंस या बीमारियाँ उनसे हो रही होती है। तो फिर उन्हें हम ये कैसे खुद बनाएं इसका प्रशिक्षण दे देते हैं।
Sachin has distributed ASHA pads to more than 40,000 tribal women and covered around 22 districts of Maharashtra in conducting these awareness sessions that he just told us about. Samaj Bandh volunteers gather the Madhya women together to explain the what, how and when of a menstrual cycle. Often examples are quoted of women who didn't let their menstrual cycle stop them from reaching the pinnacle of success. The President of India, Draupadi Murmu herself, has served as one such inspiring example. Beyond creating awareness about menstrual hygiene, these awareness sessions are also taking on age-old taboos and stigmas associated with menstruating women. Taboos that continue to keep these Madhya women out of public participation and bring their lives to a complete halt when they are menstruating. In the Madhya community, as with so many other communities across India, it is believed that when a girl or a woman has her period or kurma, she must live in a kurma ghar or period house for the duration of the menstrual cycle.
तर आई बाबाला विचारले की कुर्माघरात का राहते, तर ते म्हणले की बाबा सांगितले की कुर्माघरात राहा, की घरी येऊ नका, जमत नाही, राहायला परेशान होते, की साप येते, विंचू येते, अचानक मध्ये रात्री चावलं, संध्याकाळी चावलं की तुम्हाला कसं माहित होणार. याच्याविषयी लोकांना सांगितलं की लोक म्हणते तसं काही नाही. पाडीतलं बाई घरी राहिलं की पुजारीला त्रास होतं, की कधी त्याला ताप येतं, पोट दुखते येते, आणि जे काही पेन वगैरे कसं मंदिर वगैरे घरी ठेवते त्यांना तरी त्रास होते. तर त्याच्यासाठी पाडीत बसलेल्या बायांना अंदर येऊ देत नाही, बाहेरच राहा असं म्हणतो, बाहेरच राहा, आत येऊ नका. आम्ही प्रयत्न केलं की अडू आम्ही घरात येणार, की असं कोशिश आहे की आता जास्त नाही पण अंगणापर्यंत जाऊ शकतो आम्ही.
These kurma ghars or period houses are made of mud and cow dung, have no ventilation or light in them, with no water or loo to use. The shame around periods is so prevalent that the women living in kurma ghars hang their soiled cloth pads on the thatched roof of the kurma ghar and refrain from washing them or drying them under the sunlight, which might act to disinfect them.
जसं आता गरमी होते कुर्मा घरात, त्याच्यामुळे आम्ही बाहेर झोपते, की बाहेर झोपते, पण बाहेर बी तेवढंच गरमी होते, कारण आता जास्त ऊन लागते, त्याच्यामुळे जमीन पुरं गरम असते. असं बाथरूम वगैरे लागलं की बाथरूम इथं कुर्मा घरात नाहीये, कुर्मा घरात नाहीये, त्याच्यामुळे आम्हाला बाथरूमसाठी बाहेर जावं लागते. की अचानक म्हणजे रात्री बाथरूम लागलं की एकटे गेलं, साप वगैरे चावलं की कोणाला माहित. पावसाळ्याचं तर बहुत प्रॉब्लेम असते, जसं पाऊस येते आणि वरतून गळते, असं 1-2 बाया असलं की एका साईडला झोपते, पण जास्त बाया राहिलं की एकाला जागा भेटते, एकाला नाही भेटत, तर पाणी गळते, त्याच्यामुळे बसून राहावं लागते. की कुर्माघरात असं वाटते की मी जेलमध्ये आहो की काय मला बंद करून ठेवले. की कुर्माघरात आलं की असं वाटते की कुर्माघरात नाही राहू, घरीच राहू. मुलगी येऊन मी जन्मली, त्या मुलगा होऊन जन्मली असती तर माझे तेवढं परेशान झालं नसतं. असं कधी एक दिवस मी विचार पण केली होती की मी मुलगा होऊन कशाला नाही जन्मली आणि आम्हाला इतकं परेशान कशाला.
Sarita has begun to dialogue with her family to break away from the Kurma tradition and be allowed to live in the angan or patio of her parents' house. It's a conversation that has been made possible thanks to Samaj Bandh's efforts to help women break away from the shame around periods. In fact, Sarita is determined to break this pattern of stigma and not repeat with her child if she ever has a daughter. Ashwini is a young Maria woman who is a volunteer with Samaj Bandh and helps women understand the importance of using a cloth pad, leading by her own example.
पहले हमें पैड भी नहीं मिल रहे थे तो हम कापड़ यूज़ कर रहे थे. मैं नहीं यूज़ की बट मेरे माँ लोग और दादी लोग थे, उन लोग तो कापड़ ही यूज़ कर रहे थे. उस टाइम में पैड कुछ भी नहीं था, ये सिर्फ कापड़ ही कापड़ था. फिर हम जैसे जैसे बड़े होते गए वैसे पैड आ चुका था. ऐसा पैड क्या बोलते सैनिटरी पैड मिल रहे थे तो कापड़ी पैड है ना वो हम 6 घंटे रख सकते हैं क्योंकि वहाँ 5-4 तो भी कपड़े जुड़ के सिलाते हैं ना तो वो मजबूती होता है. और पैसे के हिसाब से बोलने से कापड़ी पैड बहुत ही अच्छा है क्योंकि सैनिटरी पैड है ना वो दुकान से मिलता है तो 35 और 45 ऐसा ही मिलता है. तो फिर वो कापड़ी पैड जो है वो हमारा कपड़ों से ही बन जाता है तो पैसे की कोई दिक्कत नहीं क्योंकि हम हमारे घर में पाट का फूट का कपड़ा रहता है उसी से हम सिला सकते हैं. शादी फिक्स हो गई तो फिर मेरा मिस्टर से मैं पहले ही बात कर चुकी थी कि मैं अगर तुम्हारा घर में आ जाऊँ तो भी मैं कुर्मा घर में नहीं रहूँगी, मैं आंगन में सो जाऊँगी. अगर तुम्हें कोई एतराज़ नहीं तो मैं घर में रह लूँगी. तो हाँ कोई नहीं क्योंकि मैं भी पढ़ चुका हूँ कि मुझे भी पता है नैसर्गिक है, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
A piece of cloth that meant nothing to you is transforming the lives of these tribal women. Discarded clothes being repurposed as Asha pads for Adivasi women are doing exactly what the name says, spreading hope. And in the process, your clothes have become conversation starters to remove the shame around menstruation and enable women to live freely and with dignity.
Nava Mendul, Nava Adhikar. Nava Mendul, Nava Adhikar.
As transformative as cloth pads have been for lakhs of rural women across India, there are still many misconceptions surrounding their use. They are unhygienic, they are harmful to women's health, they cause infections. Did you know that the average woman uses 12,000 sanitary products in their lifetime? And one pack of disposable pads contains the same amount of plastic as 4 plastic carrier bags. That's a lot of single-use plastic going to landfills every day, especially as the plastic can take up to 500 years to degrade. So what stops women from using reusable cloth pads? Cloth pads aren't leak-proof. Can't wash stains off cloth pads. Cloth pads aren't hygienic. Can't do physical activities in a cloth pad. There are several benefits to using cloth pads. What is needed is clearing the misconceptions around their use and teaching women how to wash, dry and store them properly before reuse. And that is precisely what Kathy and Jessamine have set out to do with EcoFem. After the break, Clothes with a Conscience travels to Pondicherry, where Ecofem is making cloth pads that are good for women's bodies and also for the earth. This is the tale of 20 women who run a social enterprise founded to truly liberate women. Did you know that disposable hygienic products are the most commonly found item on Indian beaches? But menstruation, a natural process that is essential to life, needn't generate pollution at all. We've travelled to Pondicherry to find out how. Meet Jessamine and Kathy, founders of Ecofem, a social enterprise started in Auroville in 2010.
We both felt very connected to it from a point of environment, because a cloth pad can be used at least 75 times, so it really saves a lot of environmental waste. You don't need to sort of throw your disposable pads somewhere. You just wash and reuse it. So as a product, it made really sense to us.
Ecofem primarily makes cloth pads. They also make cloth nappies for babies, as disposable baby nappies that contain plastic are also a big source of pollution. The cloth pads made at Ecofem use certified organic cotton, and the money generated through their sales funds Ecofem's non-profit activities.
Basically, our vision was to try to make cloth pads an affordable and accessible option for anybody who would like to use them. And the commercial price is too much, especially for girls and women from low-income backgrounds. And out of that, we created 2 programs. One was the Pad for Pad program, which is a kind of buy one, give one program, which means that we leverage all of our international sales. On every pad we sell abroad, we get a donation built in, which enables us to provide a pad for a girl. And then the other program, we call it Pads for Sisters, and that focuses on making affordable access for women from low-income backgrounds.
Through their Pad for Pad program, Ecofem has reached out to more than 75,000 girls in government schools.
The thing that really touched me personally was that for so many girls and women, that first experience of a period is very often very sort of traumatic. There's fear with it. There's like, okay, I'm not well, I'm sick, and which is a totally preventable sort of fear. We can really step into this process of menstruation with confidence and with, sort of knowing what's going to come, and also having a sense of dignity around it.
Part of creating that sense of what is to come is the first period story. It is a significant part of the menstrual health education sessions that Ecofem conducts with girls and women from low-income backgrounds. Ecofem is a women-led organization that works for women. Those manufacturing the cloth pads and products are women. Those working in the Ecofem office are all women, right from the founders to the packers. And all these women have switched from disposable pads to cloth pads. Making anything from cloth is bound to generate a lot of waste, and this is the cloth and fabric waste that eventually ends up in landfills. But not at Ecofem. No scraps of cloth left over from the production of pads or nappies are ever thrown away. Instead, they are used to make keychains, recycled paper cards, and bags designed by designer label Anushka Anasuya and made by Sadhana Foundation, another NGO engaged in providing employment to women.
We've also tried to do, for example, tie-ups with a company of also women producers in Delhi who are working with fabric offcuts from the garment industry, and they are restitching bags for us out of these offcuts, which we package our cloth pad kits for adolescent girls in. So we're always looking for ways we can upcycle, recycle and repurpose our leftover waste to keep our waste at a minimum.
Cloth pads are healthy for women's bodies and healthy for our planet. Both Samaj Bandh and Ecofem and other organizations like them are giving women the power of an informed choice. And they're giving all of us that same power. You could choose to throw away your old clothes, towels, rags, dusters, curtains, or you could use them to give countless women dignity during their menstrual cycles and a livelihood that empowers them in more ways than one. Your old clothes can help reverse the damage caused to Mother Earth, one cloth pad at a time.